The Art of Rhyming, episode 27. Just because you rhyme doesn't make you an artist. You know the motto. About to add Maze Overlay, reps Phoenix, Arizona. One of the best, most consistent in the underground. Stand by. Peace, Tiff. Red Light Special. Thank you for joining. Great evening indeed. Trini Wop. It's been a while. Thank you for joining. Just waiting for Maze to jump on. How's everyone doing tonight? Maze is joined. Oh, there we go. Mike Wise, thank you for joining. Just accepted the invite from Maze. Should be going on any moment. I don't know how you guys have been dealing with the live, but it's been quirky lately. I'll invite him again. Let's go. Stand by, everyone. It'll be worth it. Mike Wise, where are you from, man? Trying again. I might start the live all over again. It's amazing, Tiff. You stayed for the whole 2 hours last time. A handful of people did. Peace, Lex. Let's try this again, man. Maze. Just accepted. There we go. Peace, Maze.
Peace, bro. What's going on?
How are you,
Good.
man? Just gonna put my headset in. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you just fine. Make sure your people can hear you because bro right there said he can't hear you. I'm going to share the video there real quick.
Yeah.
What up?
Yeah. Lex, can you hear me now? Can everyone hear me? Awesome. Man, IG Live, my last like 5 lives, it's quirky, man, when I try and get people to join. It's crazy. I got to invite them like 3 times.
Yeah, Instagram has been it's been funky lately.
It's crazy, man.
Looks like we're good to go.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So I wanna do an intro for you, bro, because I feel strongly about what you do and I appreciate what you do.
Thank you.
So this is Maze Overlay. This is our second interview. The first one was about 7 months ago. It was very lively. Some good debates, good talks, and honestly, I'm on a choose your own adventure when it comes to music. I don't listen to mainstream anymore. I only listen to the guests I'm pursuing to speak to. And of all the guests that I've spoken to over the last year and a half, 30, 35 artists, Maze is right at the top in terms of quality of art, bars, lyricism, production, engineering, artwork, killer artwork. You know what I mean? Themes, cohesion. You're right at the top, bro, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? So wanted to give you that intro. So yeah.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
Hard work pays off, man. Hard work pays off. It's cliche, but you know, I just been working so fucking hard to just keep getting better and better. And like,
Yeah.
you know, I mean, I'm glad that it has that effect, you know.
Yeah.
On anybody, you know. I mean, it's dope, you know. So, you know, I'm always humbled, you know, when you have me on, and you know, you appreciate the art, you know, which you do. And man, I'm just trying to get as dope as possible. I'm just trying to make as the best music I possibly can. You know, that's the goal, right?
Yeah.
All that shit.
Do you find that your fans today notice the incremental improvements you're trying to make? Because you drop a lot of projects. Do you feel they notice?
I'll be honest with you, man. Like, it's because of how subjective the art is and how
Yeah.
everybody looks at it. It's very like it's very hard to
Yeah.
say, like which one's better than the next. Or if you see progress, it should be progress, and like, you know, maybe you notice that I'm straying away from certain topics and I'm
Gotcha.
growing in certain areas, or at least like reflecting that growth, because as a person, like I've grown a lot. You know, when people first heard like Retro God and Border Kids,
Yeah.
and you know, even like Vita and Aztecas, like those are very like early projects for me, and I think they
Mm.
represent a lot of the years that it took for people to even start getting my music. You know what I mean? So
Yeah. Yeah.
now I'm at this stage where I've grown so much just over the last few years of making music and just being in the whole underground and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
you know, I've grown as a human over the last, you know, 10, 15 years since I've been making music, and the music should reflect that. So to answer your question, like, you know, yeah, I hope that the fans, I think it depends on the listener. I think certain fans, they're like, they're very analytical. Like they have maybe an ear like how you have an ear.
Right.
Some people, they're just, you know, I mean, like I'm interested to talk about Honor and like all these timelines, because like you could be like, yo, this is your best project, and I'm like, dude, that shit is like,
Yeah.
damn,
Yeah.
I recorded that like 3 years ago type shit. You know what I mean? And I don't think anything I do is lackluster. I just think that um certain things like aren't certain albums might be not as like long, or they might be, you know,
Yeah.
maybe less went into it, or maybe it just wasn't received well when we were shopping it or whatever. So it was like, you
Mm.
know, there's a few projects that we have that, like, you know, they just they just don't they just don't aren't the ones, you know, that everybody hypes up. But like, you know, I could throw something out and be like, hey, I'm just gonna drop this as a digital or just as a random project, and it could be somebody's favorite project. So, you know,
Yeah. Yeah.
hard for me to say like, do I think the fans notice? I mean, if they're really analytical, I'm sure they notice. You know, there's certain storylines, there's certain like backbones of my style and like who I am, that if you pay attention, just like any MC, you know, any artist, you're gonna like notice, like, you know, oh, it looks like they had a kid, or, you know, you could tell after this
Yeah.
album, like, you know, they did a bid, or, you know, they learned, they changed a lot. You know, you can see that with Jay on like 444, you know, big, huge, like way
Yeah.
different than a lot of other Jay-Z.
Yeah.
You can see growth like that, but, you know, you also have, those artists have the world watching. You know,
Yeah.
we have more limited fans, respectfully, but at the
Yeah.
same time, like, you know, it's music is so subjective, man. So
Can,
like, you
can,
never
can,
know. You never
can,
know.
can you imagine you have the world watching you like Jay-Z, and you're like, let's create a 444.
Mm.
Like that's a different type of pressure. Do you think, or
Oh,
like
absolutely.
changing directions?
Oh, absolutely. Not just that, like, bro, you have like the culture on your shoulders when you're that big. You
Right.
know,
Yeah. Yeah.
like they say, with great power comes great responsibility. You know what I mean? You gotta be able to, you know, pull that off. And honestly, I think that like what my favorite thing is about like the goats and all like some of their classic work is, in between albums, they lived life and they
Yeah.
had experiences that they put into each project. So like when you listen to Kendrick's last album, it's like, I know, I was like, damn, a lot of relationship shit, like a lot of shit went on. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And that's like how you kind of like load your clip for the next project. You don't purposely go through painful shit. Like I remember you touching on certain things like, do troubled paths make for better artists? I don't think
Yeah.
anybody wants to go through, you know, pain or struggle, but when you do, because everybody does, no matter what,
Yeah.
that's sometimes is what goes into the music and is the most impactful, because that's what people like They want to hear that you're human, and they also relate to the struggles. You know what I mean?
I want to mention something since you pointed it out. You said artists used to spend time and they live between albums, right? What do you got there? Is that kombucha? What is it?
Some kind of fire ass kombucha. Some fucking, it's delicious.
Nice. You're always on the health tip, right? Still on the health tip?
Got to be, man. Got to be.
But yeah, what was I saying? So Kendrick spent some years between his albums. He lived, but how do you and your contemporaries crank out 4 or 5 albums a year and live in between and have shit to say, man? It's a different. I feel like it's a different game for most in the underground today.
I think this is a really this is something that I'm sure like a lot of people like they deal with this. So first of all, not in the mainstream, so we're not releasing albums on this caliber. 2, because certain people, you watch their growth in real time because of when they began releasing music and when they got to this current point or stopped releasing music or whatever. You saw everything unfold in their real life, like Tupac and Nas and shit. Like as they went through different things in their life, you saw it real time. Dude, the underground, so much shit that we do. We have, first of all, we have so much to say because we don't have the same platform that the majors have, at least now. You know what I mean? So I think we have like kind of a backstock of shit to say, so we really want to just pump it out. And that's not everybody, you know. Like I'm just really creative. I always want to create. I got a lot of stories to fucking tell. I lived a lot of life, a lot of times, a lot of life that I was living, and I wasn't making music about it. Think about all the times that I was just like living life and I wasn't making a song like directly after it or something. Like, you know, I tend not to do that. Like I tend not to I think that you guys live in a certain world. You're like, oh, this artist gave us a project. You don't know when they fucking made that.
True.
You don't know when the fuck they put it together. You don't know when it was done. You don't know how long they've been sitting on it, or any of that. So like if I were to like kind of burst that bubble and be like, yeah, bro, like next year's gonna be a crazy year. You know why? Because I put my head down and did a lot of work the last 2 years. You know what I'm saying? Like, every year can't be your year. It's not like that's not how it works, man. Like, it's unfortunate, but everything comes in waves and seasons, and you know when it's time because you can feel the energy, and you know what the buildup is like. You know what I mean? Sometimes rolling up is just as good as smoking it, man. Like you got to really enjoy the whole process. You know what I mean? So, but you guys live in a world where you don't understand the artist's timeline, and it's so frustrating for us. I want you to understand, and I'm gonna speak for myself and War Season and a couple other producers that I work with, where you put something together and you're like, oh man, this shit is dope. Okay, we got a project mixed, and you're like, yeah, hurry up and wait. We use that term a lot, you know, in institutions and shit. Hurry up and wait, right? They want to rush you to get there, but then, all right, now let's wait for the artwork, wait for the, not necessarily, let's say you got everything packaged, you still got to put together the rollout, you got to shop it, you got to get it, you got to put it into production, you got to go through this whole process, and sometimes something gets put off for 6 months, you know, so you got to just kind of roll with the punches because we don't control all the variables, you know. And if you want to give a project its proper due, you can't just like record and release. And if you do that, you're kind of selling yourself short because you're just putting material out and it's not really doing anything. You know what I mean? And this is also why, like, you know, you got to have a formula. And if the formula doesn't work, you alter it. Like we're always changing the formula. Nothing like is permanent or like, you know, it's not like everything is always being molded. You know what I mean? Like you got to do different shit if it's not working. All sorts of shit.
I'm kind of getting, let me run this by you because this is the impression I'm getting with the underground. I feel like underground artists today are more staying in their lane comfortably, dropping project after project based on volume and just being comfortable covering the same ground. I feel like that's what the game's turned into, and as listeners are more like single oriented or IG clip oriented, you know what I mean? It seems maybe to work for listeners to know what to expect. Not that that's my favorite, you know, that I appreciate that more than spending time between albums. But would you say that that's what the underground has kind of become for the most part?
I think to a certain point, number one, it's just exposure and just constantly being able to post shit.
Yeah.
It shows, number one, you're hard working and you're always in people's feed and you're always like, look, I'm doing something. But to a certain extent, that's kind of spinning your wheels.
I agree.
My goal is to not just please the current fans that I have, but to also reach out and get new fans. And to me, by doing that requires different levels of different ideas in marketing and in and just how to release, when to release. Not everything can go to physical, not everything needs to go to physical. The physical demand is, and honestly, like, the reason why you see rappers like dropping so much is, honestly, man, they want the bag, bro. And I'm not saying that any of us don't want the bag, bro. We all need money, you know what I mean? But at the same time, like,
gotcha.
Like, the reason why, like, let's keep it a buck, let's keep it tall, right? Like, a lot of these overseas record companies, like, a lot of them kind of fading away. And I think the reason being is because people are finally starting to see, like, number one, it's not that expensive to press your own shit.
Right.
A lot of it is smoke and mirrors. Like, all you're doing is just because it goes
sorry,
and you gain a new fan.
Your audio broke up for me. What was fading away, you said? What was fading away?
A lot of these overseas distributors and vinyl companies and labels are kind of fading out a little bit because we're starting to see how the business models work and how we can really do it for ourselves, Shout out my
gotcha.
For me, man, this is every artist is different. And see, there's not gonna be like these blanket statements and these general like one size fits all whatever. You can't compartmentalize everything like that. You know what I mean? Like, you have to compartmentalize like that. You can't just make these blanket statements, man. Like, physicals, dropping vinyls really works for some people. It's not for everybody. Some people have a balance. Some bigger artists don't move a shitload of vinyl. So we and plus when we see these projects and it's like, oh, if it doesn't get a physical treatment, it kind of gets like pushed to the wayside a little bit. You know what I mean? And I think that has to do with like also lack of marketing and shit, man. Like, this isn't this isn't rocket science, man. You make a product, you market the product, you find your demographic, you find the people that like your shit, and you work the formula. You know what I mean? Like, I think that there's a demand to drop all these projects because people have the attention span of a fly. You know what I mean? So, but there's a way to drag your content out right. There's ways to if you drop in more than an album, every couple months. I mean, it just could be a lot for fans to take in. So you want to, like, when you have a project, have a good amount of artwork to come out with the project, have a video to come out with the project, have some shit to come out with it. So it's like, it extends the life a little bit, and I think it puts a little bit more value into the project. You know what I mean? But
I interviewed Diamond Dallas. He's an anomaly, obviously, but one thing he said, and it's clear, he tries to treat his projects like collectibles, like art. I feel maybe that's what sells vinyl. I feel like your stuff falls in the art category. The way you treat your covers and stuff like that, right? Does vinyl work out for you? Does it translate for you?
What do you mean? Does it translate?
Like okay, let me reframe this. I think you got some diehard fans. When I post your promotional clips, my audience loves your shit. Your audience always taps in. Does that tapping in on IG, that excitement, does that translate to record, like pushing records for you, like when you do print?
So I'm rarely kind of on here, so I think that I'm not trying to be some elusive ghost or anything, man. I'm just like, if people want a lot of music, then I'm gonna spend less time on social media. You know what I mean? So, everybody wants to see the interaction, though. So I think that definitely it doesn't just give it. This isn't all about, like, I think we always kind of talk about traction and steam, and that's good. That's good. I think if focusing on that too much can be kind of, you know, it can be detrimental to the artist because like I want to focus on the music, right? You know, I know that if I'm making the best possible music I can, and if I'm putting all the same attention to detail that I put into my music, into the art, into the craft, put into the business side of things. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I translate with vinyl. We're gonna change up the way we drop. Coach, the way that Coach works is, you know, if something, like I said, if something isn't working, you know, we have very analytical minds, you know, and if something's not working, we change it up. So as you can see, like, let's keep it tall. Like, you know, we have multiple projects over the last year and year and 2-3 months that are fully sold out. And then we have a couple projects that are still available, you know, so, you know, we obviously, we value both. We value a product being able to sell out and move quickly, because obviously that shows and reflects that there's a high demand. And when we also appreciate the fact that we have product still for sale, so we can tell somebody, hey, go get some Maze product. You know what I mean? But, you know, do we want to sell out? Absolutely. So you touched on, you say Diamond Dallas, but we're going to just say Mickey Diamond, because that's what the Instagram name is cool. But
I lost it, man. Honestly, it's been a long day. That's what came to mind.
You good. Yeah, shout out Ben Solo. Thank you, bro. Appreciate that. Shout out everybody that's happening. This cop the vinyl or a tape or a CD or stream the song. Tiff is she a wild motherfucker, boy. She bought my whole discography, like, you know, like a month ago or something, or like right when I dropped on it.
Physical or digital? I bought a few digitals of yours.
She bought the digital, like the whole digital shit, bro.
Yeah. Oh wow, nice.
Yeah, dude. She like you know, people like Tiff, man. Like that's, you know, we spend like not to put a dollar amount on it, because those people are priceless, because they're close to my heart, because I do this art not just for the dollars, you know what I mean? But it's beautiful that we have value, you know. But bro, you have to spend so much money in marketing and get through so many people to get to people like Tiff and Micah and other people that appreciate the music on a personal level. You know why? It's because a lot of these people have been through shit in their lives, and when they hear the bars and they hear certain music, they're like, I fuck with this, I resonate with this. And people like this, and to me, like, no matter how big I get, I'm always responding to the people that were there for me when they were like, you know, when I had like this, you know what I mean? Like, you know, the people that supported you like organically from the bottom, grassroots, like that shit is like, and you can't ask for nothing like that. Give me goosebumps, man. That's like that's the shit that does it for the artist, because it's not like fuck the pat on backs. It's really like the appreciation. You know what I mean? But going back to the vinyl shit, man, like absolutely. I think that it's important. I don't think it's the end all be all. I think too many people. I think you got to be balanced. You got to balance. Hip hop shit is all about balance, bro. You know.
I mean, even me with this platform, at some point I had to stop giving a fuck to just do whatever I feel, you know what I'm saying, and watch it grow, and, you know, people's interests grow. So I get what you're saying. I wanted to ask what you've been up to. You know, I did see some photos you put up, you and the Phoenix homies out in New York or whatever. Can I ask what that was about, or?
Yeah, we really just me and Dan kind of just wanted to bring we were like, yo, let's link in New York, and I was like, let's go, and then I was like, we can go to the cookout, you know, and he had some shit he had to do out there, and we ended up or he ended up doing the Chinatown Sounds, and I was like, let's shoot a video, because we have a video coming up on one of the a joint coming up on one of the projects that I got coming out on this Enzo project.
Yeah.
We were like, let's go. So I was like, yo, let's bring the homies, because he was like, yo, AR's coming with me, Jimmy's coming with me. All right, cool. So I hit my boy Def Child, and I was like, yo, why don't you and Tay the Crowd come out? And there's a couple other cats you should interview, bro. If you're trying to tap in with AZ boys, definitely tap in. I mean, anybody from from Underdog. So
Yeah.
Dan, AR, Jimmy, Lizeth, and then you got like Def Child, Tay the Crown. Solid artists. You need to get
Right.
Graham Moses on here too, man. Let the other Arizona boys get some light, dog. But nah, man, we
I,
really just wanted to link up. So we took everybody out. We didn't take everybody. Everybody flew out. Me and Dan and AR and Jimmy split an Airbnb in Jersey, and then Def and Tay got a spot in Jersey, and then we all linked up in the Bronx. And the cops just shut the event down early, man.
I,
So
I was gonna ask because I saw people posting. It looked like a crazy event, but I heard on day 2 it got closed down. Can you tell me what that event was about before we get into it
honestly,
even closing down? And
I'm not the really the guy like that. I know that it was a 1,000 words event, but you'd have to ask 1,000 words about
yeah,
that, man. It's like it
yeah,
was him and one of his partners that threw the event. And I obviously, like, for me it was more about, like, us coming out there showing face as AZ artists, and then also just like networking and linking up and having a good time. That's what we normally do at events like that. You know what I mean? So it wasn't like an event where we were performing or anybody was like on the bill or slated to do anything. It was just, hey, let's show up. Let's see what's up. And sometimes that's just
showing
the
up.
best way to do it. I mean, like you see, when you see all the pictures and all the media that comes from it, like there's people that, bro, it's crazy. I go to the Bronx and even like have random people know who the fuck I am. Bro, there's people who, okay, so,
Tell the
all right, this guy. All right, so, but even like though there's people that recognize.
coach is saying tell the whole story.
I know he is. I know what he's saying. So, but there's people that recognize me from Myrtle Beach, and I run into the same people in the Bronx and shit, bro. There's people that, like, it's just wild, and that's dope. So, like, plus like all the umbrellas there, and like,
Yeah,
there's just a lot of people, man, and it's dope to like keep running into the same familiar faces. It's just like a reunion type shit for like artists. You know what I mean? Like, it's all these events.
I,
So the event wasn't
I,
my event, but the cops came, shut it down. So the story went like this. So everybody's out there. You know, we're all kind of bullshitting. I'm looking around. I'm like, bro, there's like fucking 30 of everybody's favorite rappers, just like within fucking. I mean, there's
right.
Edo, Boo Boo the Prince, ST Nag, Al
Wow.
Divino, fucking Mondo Slade, Jock King, Javi, Minister High. There's all these artists, bro. Like, and we're all like, and plus all of us, me, Def, Jimmy, Tay. I'm like, yo, what? Let's get in the fucking studio, bro. And
Right.
Al DeVito was like, yo, fuck that. Let's just party. And I'm like, that
Right.
is some Al DeVito shit to say. So I was like, yeah, but I'm down to party too. But like, because we're all drinking beers at this point. The cops kind of pushed us out to where, like, as long as we wasn't blocking the store,
Right.
like, we was good. So it's everybody just sitting on the side of this building. So I'm like, let's go. So
Right.
coach, let's make something happen, bro. Like, come on, let's turn a negative into a positive. We was there for like 30 minutes, bro, before they broke
Seize
the shit up.
the moment.
And I'm like, yeah, why not, right? Like, so
Yeah.
so coach makes some calls, right? Coach is like, I got you, man. Let's see what's up. This motherfucker had a fucking studio plug that was 100 yards away, my guy. Like, Tom Brady could have hit it with a football. I could have hit it with a
Right.
fucking. So coach is like, I got a spot right across the street. I'm like, okay, that's convenient. And so I get with everybody, and I'm like, yo, you wanna shake a move, get in there and get busy, do what we do. And
Right.
it was like me, Jay Royale, Mondo Slade, Minister, Jock King, Javi, AR, Jimmy, obviously Coach is in there. My boy Miggs was Mig. My boy Miggs was in there. Like, there Boo Boo the Prince was in there. Like, there was just
I.
all these motherfuckers in there. So like we all just, like, everybody, we threw on a beat.
Yeah.
Dan of course, Dan Nicholson he kind of took the wheel
Right.
and just threw a beat on, and it was fire. It was his boy Drew, I think, and everybody who fucked with it wrote a verse and hopped on the track.
So
And it was
what did this drop? Because
nah,
I didn't hear, I didn't see this drop.
not yet, not yet.
Was everyone too drunk in the end
Fuck no.
to make a good product?
Like, I'm not gonna lie. There may or may not have been some beers that spilled that got picked up, but you know.
Right. Yeah.
And I was definitely on my bullshit. Coach will tell you I was on my bullshit. But you know, that's just how it is sometimes. But no, everybody was not fucking tore up from the floor up there. They were just a little, you know, we was just enjoying ourselves, man. It was like you know, I mean, we was like, fuck it, we're in the Bronx, we're in the South Bronx, we're
the Mecca.
shut down. So we got the Modelo's, we got the Heineken, we got some water. Bro, there was a point in time, bro, where I think there was like 7 L's lit, bro. I was dying. I was like, you know, like I can't even. So
how many people jumped on this track? Like, what are we talking? I'm looking forward to hearing this.
8, 9.
8. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, shout out Umbrella Studios and Kaz and everybody that was involved in that, because that was an epic night, bro. The footage is crazy. Minister High got some crazy footage. Dan got some crazy footage, and then Boo Boo the Prince, his photographer. I forget his name. He's cool as fuck though, and he got a bunch of footage. And you know, we just made history, bro. Like it was on the spot, you know. And it was my idea to get some shit going, but like after that, it was just it turned into its own thing, because Coach orchestrated, and Dan started doing his thing, and everybody just got busy, you know what I mean? So I'm not going to tell you everybody that was on the track, but it's a lot of people, and they would normally not be on the track.
I want to shout out Coach. He's been hooking me up with dope interviews. Jockeying the Divine, Javi, Pro, and others, man. So appreciate that, Coach. So I wanted to get back to your work, man. We spoke 7 months ago about April. You dropped another 3 albums since then. I think the last when I interviewed you last, you had just like dropped Afghani Gold.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where it ended off. Peeped all of the albums that you've dropped since. Again, production-wise, it's amazing. You always encapsulate a vibe. You're always working with one producer. You know, have you ever thought of combining producers, or are you always going to keep it one producer?
Yeah, already done that. Already did that. So yeah, that's popular nowadays. I mean, don't get me wrong. You know, interview War Season, ask him about these producer fucking albums. But you know, for me, I got a great ear too. Okay, and that's one of my biggest attributes is, you know, that's what I love about Rick Rubin. He just has a good ear. He just has good taste. And you know, I could absolutely, like, wait till you hear Enzo. Enzo is curated by me. So I'm still curating the project, even if it's one producer. I gotta select the beats. I gotta arrange the shit. I gotta name it. I gotta conceptualize it.
Gotcha.
I'm the executive producer, the A&R, and the fucking, like, I'm like 4 different roles at a label in one person. You see what I'm saying?
Are you still engineering everything on your own too?
I mean, you know, it's honestly like, that's something at this point that like that I don't even want to I don't even want to give away all the process.
Oh, okay. Yeah, my bad. All good, brother.
I have a hand in engineering. Absolutely. You good, bro? I don't give a fuck. You know, you can ask me. I don't give a fuck. You ain't gonna offend me, bro. I'm Italian from the 90s, bro. You can't you cannot possibly offend me, bro. You make me mad, but you can't offend me. But look, yeah, I have a hand in engineering everything. It's just a process, bro. You know what I mean? And I'm not the only one involved. So like, but to pivot to someone like War Season, right? Like War Season curates his projects with me, right? We work together on one, but for the most part, he does the arrangement, the conceptualizing, the naming, and the track, everything.
Coach?
War Season.
Oh, War Season. Gotcha.
So when you see a Maze Overlay War Season album, they've all been conceptualized, named, ordered, track listed by him.
Wow. You trust them? You trust them that much? That's dope.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So Oddfather's got a joint on Enzo. Really Him has a joint on Enzo. War Season's got one. Bishop. Fumes the Threat has a few. So Enzo's my first tape that you're gonna get that is curated by me and has multiple producers on it. But you know, like I said, like
I'm looking
one or two people.
forward to that.
Yeah, man, it's honestly, like, I'm not gonna lie to you. I think it is gonna be received very well, and me and Coach are on the same page with this because we just understand like what people like. I hate to say it like this, man, but I understand what people want, and there's a level of like, you know, even when me and our father came together, he was like, I was like, man, I want to go in this direction, and he was like, but you sound so good over the sinister shit, and I was like,
Yeah.
but at the end of the day, I cannot just make music predicated on what people want.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
I do know how to feed the wolves, man. So, yeah, the producer albums are very popular right now. But go back to your original point, man. Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, but what I was gonna say is you don't need to make an album with different producers because all your shits are different vibes. Like I said, very cohesive. I just think it would be interesting. You know what I'm saying? Because most of I guess the majority of your last 5, 6 is with one producer, right? I just think it would be interesting. So
Me
that's
too.
all.
No, I'm
Yeah.
with you. I'm on the same page. Like, honestly, you're gonna see I hate to say a lot more of that because I got some more things in the bag with a couple other homies, and
Yeah.
I'm blessed to be able to work with such dope ass producers. So like while that's running, that's why you see it's such an influx of all these producer tapes, because that's kind of how it panned out, man. We got together, and when I say I'm gonna do something, I fucking do it. So
Yeah.
I bit off a lot. Some might say a little too much to chew, but I fucking ate my shit, bro. I cleaned my motherfucking plate. So you can ask a lot of the producers that I've worked with, and you're about to get a lot of material, my boy.
Can I ask you, how do you decide when to drop next? Is it just you just go off feeling,
I
or
don't. Coach, coach fucking decides
really?
when to fucking drop. Yeah, bro. Honor was something that, because we didn't Honor was not going to vinyl, at least not directly to vinyl. So because Honor wasn't going directly to vinyl, I was like, Coach, I'm dropping this, and no matter what I do, Coach always tells me like I could have done it better. Coach is always like, Maze, what are you doing? Why you do this
Yeah.
like this? And I gotta explain
Yeah.
myself a little bit, but that's because he gives a fuck. You know what I mean? Like, so honestly, I don't decide. Like, what I do is I complete my work as an artist, and then I give it to Coach, bro. I literally
Can,
so once I have the artwork in PDF and I got the fucking album mastered in a folder at the
yeah.
highest quality and ready to fucking go, then I send that email to Coach and I say, Coach, the album's done. I send it to you, and he decides where the album gets shopped to. We discuss it, we're like, hey, where do you want to get this one? Okay, cool. Where do we who can we have do this? And then I'm not even going to discuss certain business, I guess, ideas that we have for the future, but I will say it's not always just going to be pressing vinyl with overseas distributors.
Gotcha.
There's going to be
Can I ask what's your relationship with Coach? Like, what does he do, like, for you music wise? Like, I'm learning about Coach. We've been building, but like, what role does he play in your music?
he's a manager, man. He's a manager.
All out. Okay,
Yes.
gotcha.
So he's a manager in the sense of like, you know, anything that involves like Maze Overlay, Coach is going to be involved with. You know what I mean? There's a very little degree of separation, you know what I mean? Especially because me and Coach get along, and me and Coach usually see eye to eye on things. We always butt heads because we're both very like opinionated, and we feel strongly about our shit.
Yeah.
But we've made a lot of progress, and we both look at Maze Overlay the same way. It's a business, and
So
he's able to be even more detached than I am because I'm still the fucking artist, man. Like,
Yeah.
I'd be like, I want to do this, and he'd be like, yeah, but you're a fucking artist. You're not the fan. You know, like I could
Yeah.
talk about. I mean, I don't want to like shoot myself in the foot. So it's like, I made decisions that if Coach was around, those decisions wouldn't have got made, and I would have had a better.
Wow.
I would have had a better result. So it's not that like, I know it's Coach the God, but it's not that Coach is the end all be all. It's just that you have to have people. Well, you don't have to, but people that are like Coach. If you have those people in your corner, then
Yeah. Yeah.
probably gonna do a lot more good than bad. You know what I mean? So, like the Coach trusts me to be the artist, and I trust Coach to be the manager.
Dope.
And he's able to do a lot of legwork that I'm not able to do, and that's just for obvious fucking reasons. But I also, as an artist, make a lot of fucking legwork on my own, and Coach definitely appreciates that. Also, like, no matter what, like, I'm like humble in the sense of like I'm never too good to grow, but like there's not too many artists in general that work as hard as me, and that's why I know I'm gonna make it, in the sense of making it to where like I know I'm gonna get very successful off of this, and because I work very, very hard, and there's very few people that have that much product ready to go. I actually took the time and sat down and made the fucking material, man. I put the time in.
Yeah. He said you guys have 11 projects in the chamber for 24. That's crazy.
That's right.
And he's saying you're the hardest, right? That's fire, man.
That's right.
But I want to mention as well that I saw what he did with the Jack King, the Divine, and Javi Darko album, Fear and Loathing in, what was it, in Long Island. That was easily one of my favorite albums of the year. And when I interviewed both of them, I listened to a big part of their catalogs and see how they evolved and then hit that point. And I know his involvement in that album. And to me, I was really impressed with like he seemed like he helped them hit that new level, also, in my opinion.
Also, Coach is involved on a musical level with a lot of artists. It's just with me, because I'm so like sustainable on my own. Coach is just like, bro, you got it. Coach only really hits me on a musical level if he needs like a verse from me, or he needs me to appear on something, or things like, or he wants to get an artist on one of my projects or something like that. So Coach has a good ear. Coach was an artist before he was a manager. He's also been in the industry for a long time. He wasn't always in the underground too. Coach was used to, Coach still does have, major connects. So also when you term underground, like, that's real loose. And I'm gonna tell you like this too, like, not because I don't respect the underground, that I know everybody has a different view of what the underground is, but like, I respect the fucking shit out the underground, and the underground is something that's transforming and becoming something different all the time, because I've been a part of the underground for 16 years. So,
I went 15 years back on your music. I saw many transformations, man. It's crazy.
Right. So man. I feel like the underground isn't the underground. Where do they put you when you die, bro?
The overground?
The underground.
No, the underground.
They put you in the earth, right?
Yeah.
So, I'm gonna spend a little bit of time on the surface before I get buried, bro. And to be honest with you, like,
I like the sound of that, man.
It's a metaphor, but at the end of the day, like, we reach for the stars for a reason, my boy, and it's not to be, considered underground. And we appreciate the underground because it's a stepping stone and a platform that allows new artists to come in and prove themselves. And then once you prove yourself, you're able to compete on a larger circuit. So why would you want to grow? Why wouldn't you want to take your message and get it to more people? If you wouldn't want to do that, that just means you don't believe in yourself. And to me, there's a fucking balance to going through the industry and never letting the industry change who you are as an individual and as an artist, man. But best believe I'll take all the fucking success, because I'm gonna take that success and I'm gonna create change and generational wealth, and I'm gonna create, sustainable companies, and I'm gonna do some great shit for the fucking planet and for the fucking people when I get my bread. You know what I mean? Like, when I get my big bread, because I got some bread. It's just, the type of vision I have requires a lot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And also, that's the hat that I wear when I'm not rapping. You know what I mean? Like, we could talk about this rap shit all day, but we also need to start talking about LLCs and nonprofits and EINs and how to have all our kids have life insurance policies that go into a trust, and you know that when anytime anyone passes in your family and in your lineage, it all goes into a trust and creates generational wealth. You know what I mean? You're able to avoid taxes that way on your properties and shit like that when you leave them to your seeds and shit. So we need to start talking about shit that affects the community and the culture and shit that's deeper than just this rap shit, you know. And that's honestly what, like, you're gonna hear a lot of my music start reflecting too, because as a man and all the growth that I've had, it isn't just being a dope rapper, bro. Because a lot of these rappers don't take care of their fucking kids, bro. A lot of these rappers think it's cool to have cool metaphors and shit, but they actually damaging the culture. They're damaging their family. They're sacrificing too much time. You know,
That
I'm a good human being first, bro.
that
So being a
that,
good
that
rapper is just like the icing on the cake, bro. And I appreciate that, and I'm glad you recognize that, and I feel blessed that I have that gift, and I'm grateful that people like you appreciate it like that, to the point where you can compliment me and want to share my time and like all this shit. Like, but no matter what, I wouldn't even give a fuck if I wasn't a good person, if you wasn't a good person. You know what I mean? I'm
yeah,
all
yeah.
about bettering the self and just,
Well,
constantly growing, bro.
I
Some people find that comfort zone. That shit is dangerous. I make sure I'm uncomfortable. Even if I'm like doing super good, I'll just take an eighth of mushrooms just to knock myself off my own high horse, bro, to make sure my ego is never driving, and I'm
yeah.
always in. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I'll tell you what though, you bring some worldly like vision to your bars, to your lyrics that sets you apart. You know what I'm saying?
I appreciate it.
Like you have a
I like
worldly view. You know what I'm saying? And clearly you've done a lot of thinking on mushrooms, and it reflects in your music. You know what I'm saying?
thank you, man.
So, so yeah, man. Um, so yeah, wanted to go high level through a couple of the last drops.
Go ahead.
Um, so Shooter's Galleria was produced by War Season. That was dope. Novo Antica, if I said it right, was produced by Wax Pack,
Mm-hmm.
and I believe Wax Pack told me that was his first full length project.
Yeah,
Is
man.
that true? That's
That is
crazy, man.
absolutely true. Wax Pack is a very young man. He's a very driven young man, and he's very respectful, very honorable. I can't speak highly enough about the young brother, man, because everything he's done on all levels, from making the music better and just being patient, and you know from meeting up with me in New York to you know everything, every step of the way, he's a fucking gentleman, and all he wanted to do was make the best shit possible. And that album came together because me and him linked up like 2020, before I did any of these projects. And um yeah, look at Coach on his
Go
shit. Look,
go
go get that
buy
vinyl,
that
Coach.
vinyl
Go
at
get that
Apple
fucking
Dizzle.
vinyl, bro. Go to
Th-
fucking Apple fucking Dizzle and go get that motherfucking
What
vinyl,
what?
bro.
Oh, go
No,
ahead.
you
Go ahead.
good. That was just like we linked up early before I did Border Kids, like Retro God, all that shit. And he had sent me a pack, and there was like 3 or 4 beats in there that I was like, these are fucking fire. But there was one that I was like, bro, this shit is bananas. It was one of the beats. Yeah, I'll tell you something like this. I'll let you in on a little trade secret. There's every now and then a producer sends me a beat, probably every 50, 75 joints, right? And I don't touch the name. I leave the name. And that joint was one of them. That joint was one of them. It was Renaissance Novella, and he sent me a
I
pack.
was gonna say that's my favorite one. I think off that
Me
project.
too.
I think.
But
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean,
yeah,
Danny Ocean's
yeah.
the contender, Kaiser Soze is the contender. But I love that Renaissance Novella joint, man. And that was the joint that really, like, there are joints on albums that like spark it for me, where that like kind of is the deciding factor on like what project.
That one kind of takes me back to '94 Deadstock, which is my all-time favorite of
Yeah,
yours.
yeah,
In a
yeah.
way, just the drums. So yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah, man.
appreciate that. Yeah, no, Wax is young but very talented. He has a good ear. I think the project came together very cinematic, very movie like, with all the interludes and all the fucking kind of like
Yeah.
just dope drops
Did,
and shit. Like,
did,
it was a cool project, man. I really enjoyed
did,
that shit. And PQ killed the artwork too.
did you have any reservations working with him as the first time as his first project?
Absolutely not. We just knew that it had to be absolutely not, bro. No, man. For me, it's skill over everything.
Yeah,
But we knew that it wouldn't be the first drop.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't like I mean, the conversation was something like, hey man, I got a project with so and so, so and so. Like,
yeah,
I gotta get these out because and I had before I had Coach, I had people like War Season, Blame Low, and then
yeah,
my boy Jules, Italian dude overseas. I mentioned him multiple times in these interviews, and he was like, don't just do an album with someone who's not known and then just dump it because you're not gonna make the impact you want to make. Like
right, right,
you need to have an order going back to like when you motherfuckers get your fucking albums. You have no idea when that shit was done or how it was done. So I could have
yeah,
had picture. I'm just being hypothetical, but I could have had Nouveau Antica done before I released Aztecas. You know what I mean?
gotcha,
Potentially.
gotcha,
Maybe it was
gotcha.
mixed up of new and old. Nouveau Antica, right?
Yeah. Anyways, the production was incredible, among other things. But the fact that that was his first project just blew me away, man. That was crazy. So yeah. Moving along, your latest drop. I think it dropped October 31st. Honor Amongst Thieves. Is that
Yeah,
right?
but
Uh,
you're missing. You did you mention the Shooters Galleria, buddy?
yeah, that was before
Yeah,
Novo Antica,
yeah,
right?
yeah. What'd you think of Shooters?
I thought that was really good. I'll tell you what, because I had just interviewed you and peeped like all of your music not too long
Mm,
ago. I only listened to it once or twice, but to me it was very well executed, bro. So
you got to go back.
yeah, but I wasn't. I didn't have the time. I was moving on at that
Good,
point.
good. You
So
got to go back to that though, because there's a
yeah,
lot of I know it's different, but there's shit in there that there's some layers in there, man. You know what I mean?
yeah,
You really want to get the maze, man. I'm telling you, like I put it in there. You know what I'm saying? Like I just told you how I put Nuvo Antica together, but I think you might have missed it. But go ahead, go
right.
ahead.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I did spin it once or twice though, and it was fire, man. So,
And
but
that
I couldn't give you an analytical breakdown like I usually do at this
nah,
point.
you
But
good.
yeah,
You good, you good. Even though I do expect fucking calculus when it comes to this rap shit from you. You set
yeah,
a high bar, my friend.
yeah. So Honor Among Thieves, man, produced by Slide Beats,
Yeah.
featuring Shoddy and Josiah the Gift. So look, all of your projects, in this maze overlay incarnation of you, fire, well executed. This
Thank you.
album, it's just the production and your comfort level. I feel like this is you blending who you are today with who you are in your past seamlessly and
Mm,
just making it a vibe, a
mm,
smooth vibe across all the beats. And for me, I have no skip impulses when I listen to this album. I peeped it 15, 20 times
beautiful,
while I'm working.
beautiful.
Um, no impulse to hit the skip button at all. It
Right.
just the production. I fuck with it. You know what I mean?
Dope,
So
man.
it's kind of my taste in hip hop. It might, if I had to explain
Yeah,
it, yeah.
I
So
think it definitely reflects your taste more than anything, to be honest with you,
yeah,
because here's the thing about we'll just make comparison is the thief of joy. I love all
yeah,
my projects equally, genuinely, but I
yeah,
know I do stand out work sometimes, and sometimes it's like when you watch a movie. You may watch a movie that's slower, right? Like
yeah,
but it's still amazing. You may watch like action packed hour and a half, also fire. You see
yeah,
what I'm saying? When you listen to Honor has a runtime of like roughly 30 minutes,
yeah,
and it's to the point. It's got one interlude. It doesn't really drag on too much. The beats are in the 80s. They're in the like
yeah,
it's got
yeah,
good pace to it. You know what I mean? Like it's got a good pace.
yeah,
Now, when you look at something like Shooters is more like a film. You know what I mean? More Shooters was more like a movie in the sense where it had longer interludes, it had longer songs, it had about a 40, 42, 43 minute runtime. So
yeah.
when you listen to a project, depending on the runtime, you're
Right,
getting I give some of my projects are like double what other artists runtime is.
right,
So
right.
um Yeah, shout out Sam Buck, man. Yeah, he's one of the illest in this game, man. This guy, man, he's everywhere too. Um, you got to really look at how long the runtime is and like what you're getting, because sometimes it's like it's so much to take in. You know what I mean? Whereas like I
Yeah,
think that's what serves so good about Honor is it was just so like kind of upbeat and to the point. You know, we sent it to
yeah,
a certain label and they were like, "Oh yeah, it's like really melodic or something," and I was like, "Oh, that's an interesting way to put it," you know. And,
yeah.
you know,
That's actually what I like about it in
hmm
part.
hmm
So
me
to be
too.
honest, so
Me too.
yeah,
Honestly, I think it's a good change of pace. I think when you hear certain projects, it's almost like changing gears a little bit. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like
yeah, exactly,
and once again,
exactly.
man, like, don't let it reflect like it. Honor is not the newest shit that I just did.
Gotcha.
Neither was any of these projects came. These projects were made when I felt like making them, and then
Right.
they get added to a timeline and they get released at a certain time. But like every album to me should be timeless, and it should reflect me at a certain stage in a certain phase of my life. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
It's not always about like where I'm at right now. Where was I? So Honor Amongst Thieves, bro, is a real place. Like that's a real place. So um
I
that is
I have the description. Can I read it out loud?
sure.
Because it's funny how I commented on it. We'll get to it in a second. So, a window into the unseen world of the speakeasy. Honor Amongst Thieves was a real place in Uptown Phoenix, in its prime a staple among watering holes in the valley, and a rest haven for fancy libations and debauchery, among other things. Abandoned by the locals and the patrons due to the pandemic, all that remains is the legacy of Honor Amongst Thieves, dedicated to Chef Joe Absolar,
Mm-hmm.
who gave me opportunities when no one would. There will always be Honor Amongst Thieves. The funny thing is, I said this in a post, that this album sounds like pouring your favorite pint of beer down your eardrums.
Mm.
That's how smooth it is. But it's about a speakeasy. I was like, is it a coincidence that it hit me like that? Like, I don't know, that I made a beer reference about it.
That's good. So,
Yeah,
so this is a real thing. You know, obviously,
right,
I spent many years in the restaurant business as well, man. Like you know,
right,
even many years where it was, you know, I was still getting busy. You know, I was active, but I was, you know, I've been in the restaurant business for a long time. And
right,
when I got out, you know, when I got out, from being locked up in 2017, that dude gave me an opportunity. You know what I mean? I had to come home and, you know, I had to get right, bro, and take care of my
yeah,
family. You know what I mean? And, you know, I wanted to move to Cali, ended up moving to LA for a couple of years after that. But, you know, there was a restaurant called the Clever Koi, and that's why you see a bowl of ramen on the front, because where I met that chef was at a restaurant in Central Phoenix called the Clever Koi. And
right,
it was quite a time, man. Very unadulterated, man. Very wild, you know what I
right,
mean? But this particular place called Honor Amongst Thieves. So if you look at the cover, right, it says Honor Amongst Thieves in Italian, and then
right,
it says has coordinates, right? So those coordinates, that's real coordinates that actually lead to it's 50 like 5537 like North 7th Street or whatever. Like it's 7th Street and Bethany Home Road in Phoenix for anybody who's in Phoenix. Like you can
right,
actually pull up. It's closed, but it was on top of a restaurant, right? So the restaurant was called. So Joe ended up opening his own restaurant, right? The
right,
one. So you know, and I got to work there when I first got out of prison, and that was how I stacked all the money to basically do this rap shit, bro. Real shit.
yeah.
That amongst
Wow.
other things, but you can use your fucking imagination. But
So,
yeah, obviously that was big for me. So check it out. So the speakeasy was on top of the shit. It was called Honor Amongst Thieves. Amongst isn't even proper. Amongst is like it's just used in that saying, right? So this place, you would go into the restaurant, right? And then you would have to, if you were a guest, right, you would leave the restaurant and then you would walk into the kitchen and you would open this
right,
door that looked like a freezer, right? And
mm,
it would have a staircase. And so you would go up
right,
the staircase and then it would lead to this fucking cocktail bar, right?
right,
So it was like so elite, you know, you had to be like really on your shit, you know what I mean? So
right,
me, I was trained by one of the illest in it. You know, I'm already on my connoisseur shit. So like I got to the point where I was working there. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like one of the most, you know, and this was full man bun days. You know what I mean? This was like This is why
what kind of food are you making? What kind of chef are you?
there wasn't no food up there, big dog. This is a speakeasy, but
Okay,
downstairs they were doing, gourmet shit, bro. They did like,
gotcha.
short ribs, stroganoffs, a ribeye, a fillet, probably some like wild caught fucking salmon from Nielsen's Market or what's the other fucking spot? We have purveyors in Phoenix that we fucked with, you know what I mean? Chef always brought in something dope. They did weekly specials. They did a charcuterie board, like high-end shit, bro. You know what I mean? Like we got business. Chef Joe Chef Joe Absolor made me the best Chiapino I've ever had in my life on a random Sunday night at the Clever Koi. Like, you don't really understand what this was.
You're making me hungry, man.
Bro, I'm telling you, one time he made this fucking Chicago-style pizza with burrata and basil and shit. This shit was fucking stupid. Slapped itself. It was retarded, bro. So, this shit like that, bro. So that cover, it all makes, you see how it all means something.
Yeah.
All the art and all the tattoos, all the little pieces, it all means something. You see the cocktail in there. You see the you know what I mean? Like everything means something. All the drugs, the psychedelics, bro, the crazy shit. Like it was just wild. So like, go to a real speakeasy. Plus in Phoenix, bro, it's fucking crazy. You know what I mean? So it was really just like a wild time. We had my boy DJ Tricky T. I met Diamond D from DITC there, bro. I literally met Diamond D.
Dope.
Like because Tricky brought him up. So Trill is like a hip hop spot in Phoenix, and my boy Tricky T, he would DJ at the bar. So he would bring in rappers and shit, and like, he was always playing like fire hip hop too, like ill shit, like Mobb Deep and Nas, and ill shit. He played new shit too, but he played real shit. He played my shit. He played Maze Overlay shit at Honor. So it was just a time to be had. You know what I mean? And it means something, and it's special. So like, you probably caught a little bit of that too. You know what I mean? Everything is special.
Clearly I did. Yeah. But speaking of food, Umami, you and Shawty going back on the food bars, you guys killed it, man. I'm gonna make a special request. I hope Coach is listening. Like, in my travels of talking to MCs, you and Shawty, I put both of you in rare air. You guys need to make a joint project. It has to be done. I honestly, I don't follow mainstream. That project, I don't think anything would capture my interest more than you and Shawty doing a joint project. So I'm putting it out there. All right?
Oh.
So, yeah.
Shawty's bananas, bro. Like, you can't talk about work ethic, bro. Talk about, bro. That dude's like a boxer, bro. He trains, bro. Like, Shawty's dope as fuck, bro. Shout out Shawty, bro. He ain't even, like, he's lapping people right now, bro. Like, also, like, Shawty ain't, like, he only underground for, like, right now. Like, bro, a lot of these rappers you talk about, like, eventually, bro, like, they gonna go, bro. Like, also, like, Shawty ain't broke, bro. Shawty put money behind this shit. He put gas in the tank, bro. Shawty one of the rappers that actually gets busy, bro. Like, he doing real shit, bro. And every time we literally have a fucking records together to have a fucking
Nissan was dope.
Thank you.
Umami, I know you guys have other records, but yeah, he's super comfy on the mic, man. Very few people as comfortable as him, in my opinion, man. You two are the best stylists in the underground, at least in my peripheral. I would love to see it. Anyways, I'll leave it at that. Yeah, give me a second here. Yeah. So yeah, bro, I think that's all I got, man. So I want to appreciate you for coming back on. I knew we would talk again. I knew I would reach out to you. It was only a matter of time. I would love to talk down the road again, maybe another 7-8 months, see where you're at, if you're down.
Maze Overlay, bro.
Yeah, man.
Just tell dude my name, though. Hey, so just Maze Overlay, bro. Hey, if you hit the link in my bio, bro, I'll probably shoot you to the Spotify, bro. I push the Spotify more than anything, bro. I heard Bandcamp. I think Bandcamp about to change everything. So we popping the website up this year, bro. Yeah. So we're gonna have everybody's gonna be able to go to mazeoverlay.com and real soon, real soon. So
Yeah.
we about to push the button real soon, bro. So a lot of things are changing right now, man. But it's always for the good somehow. You know what I mean? It's always for the better. So, man, I'm always grateful to be on. I appreciate the reception of the new project and
Yeah.
just everything, bro. Like all the love and that shit is like fuel for me, man. It's motivation. So I can't be thankful enough to just be a part of the whole platform. And every time we get
Thank
busy,
you.
I'm surprised you didn't want to ask me nothing too controversial, controversial or any about the future projects or anything like that. You know
Oh
what I
yeah,
mean? Like
yeah, yeah. No, no. Well, you got 11 of them. Do we have time to talk about 11 of them,
I
or
mean
do you want to tell us what's next? What's next? Do you
uh
want to tell us what's next?
yeah. We got me and Wino Willie are about to drop. So
Okay. Wow.
yeah, me and Wino Willie is gonna be crazy, bro. We got a Ferrari series, bro. We got a fucking literally like I got two projects that are gonna come out. And one's called Enzo, the one that
Right.
I put together.
Right.
And then you got Test 84 Testarossa, which is produced by Twinning. That's ready
Mm.
to go. So, really like it's cool because we're at the point where we're telling everybody we got all these projects. Like now people can start thinking like, what's this gonna sound like? Obviously, me and Loretta are cooking, so
Yeah.
that's not going too far in the future. Like me and War Season we're also Shooters Galleria is a series, bro.
Mm.
Like we have two other projects that are coming out that are related to shooters.
But by the way, when's the next video coming out? It's been a minute, man. You're amazing with the videos. Fucking 94 Dead Stock. That video was amazing. When's the next one dropping?
Spoiled with them videos, boy.
Yeah. Yeah, man. When's the next one?
Probably it's I mean realistically I hate to say like, I don't want to say it's too long, but it's gonna be a couple months, man.
Yeah.
I would say maybe. It just depends what I do, man. Like sometimes something like bro, I could shoot something in a week. I'd say probably expect a video in like, anytime within like the next month or two. It just
Yeah.
really depends on once the dates for everything gets locked in and
Yeah.
you know, it all lines up. It's all divine timing, man. I hate to say it like that, but I
Yeah.
honestly don't like thinking about dates too. I'll tell you what I got. I'll tell you what's coming. I mean, I got something with Loretta coming. I got something with Wino Willie. I got a couple with War Season. I got
Yeah.
another
Dope.
one with Bishop coming. Um, I, I got a project I'm working on with Oddfather right now.
Dope.
And then I got like two or three other projects that are completed that are like just random gifts for you guys, man.
Right.
We just figure out like how do we want to deliver them to you.
Yeah,
You
man.
want to get cassettes, CDs, vinyl. You want that's what you should start doing. Help me poll, man. Tell me the type of merchandise that Maze Overlay should be
You want me
playing,
to
man.
run a poll for
Yeah,
you?
run a poll for me, man.
Asking what exactly? I'm happy to.
Type of merchandise,
Asking what?
bro. What kind of merchandise do the people want, bro?
Right.
What projects do they be pressed up? What do they want?
Yeah.
What do the people want?
Yeah. All right. All right, bro. So again, fire conversation. Next time I'll get more controversial. I promise. Next time we speak. Thank you for everyone in the chat. We got Coach the God. We got Tiff, hardcore fans. Izzy, thank you for joining. Oddfather, King Miza. I think Shoddy jumped in at some point. Any last words before we depart, Mace?
Man, once again, just infinite gratitude to all the people, man. You guys are the real champions, man. Like we're especially at a time like this where we moving into such a like uncertain future with all this media and this art. Like it's I know I'm gonna be good no matter what because I have such dedicated people that are rocking with me. That
Right.
like we don't need Instagram, we don't need Spotify, we don't need Bandcamp, bro. As long as I got a website and as long as we got phones, as long as we got, bro, people are gonna get the music, bro. I'm never gonna stop dropping shit on YouTube, and even then, bro, we're never gonna, you know, not get the art to the people. So for me, it's all about the gratitude that I get from the fans, and we got some dope shit coming this year, man. Like we got so much material we've been stacking
Oh,
up, and
I do have a question. I keep extending the interview. You mentioned maybe 10 minutes ago, you're like, it sounds like you wanted to open up your sound into more like maybe not commercial, but you know what I'm saying? Like, would you ever get singing on a hook, the right type of singing? Or like, would you ever go in that direction?
Of course. Like, why wouldn't I get a singer? Like,
I haven't heard singing on your hook, so I'm wondering, is that
I
part of
got
the
I
plan in
got a
the
track.
future?
I got a track out with Tay the Crown called Yachts and Ponies, where his cousin
Okay.
Vel sang the hook and it's fire. Like, I got a track coming out with Lizeth Arenas and Dan Nicholson and Asan Eastwood. It's on the Slang You project that I got coming out. Like, we don't
Okay.
no dates, but I just spent a lot of time working on projects, man. So you're gonna get a lot of material. If I finally got a lot of the artwork back, I seen a lot of it come into fruition. So it's like, absolutely. So for that question, bro, absolutely. So that's just the type of artist I am. I like Nipsey Hussle. I like Nas.
Yeah.
I like fucking Jay-Z. Like, I like these fucking artists, bro. Like, I don't like put myself in a box. Like, I gotta be underground. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's everybody has these like ideas of, oh, this artist is underground. Like, just because they sound a certain way. Like, bro, West Side Gun is not an underground artist, right?
Yeah.
Action Bronson is an underground artist, but they might sound underground to some people. But that's what I'm saying. Like, I listen to bigger artists. I'm not sitting here jamming like Sexy Red or something, bro. I'm
Yeah.
just like, I listen to artists that I grew up listening to.
Yeah.
DMX was a commercial artist, but he was ridiculous.
I
Back then,
I'm
we
look.
didn't have to like, oh, it's got to be underground or commercial. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
that was born at a certain time, and it's like, it was good for hip hop because you wanted that degree of separation from the mainstream because how trash it was. But like, bro, enough with that fucking degree of separation. You definitely gonna watch me become successful with this music shit. And part of
I
that success is having a sound, achieving a sound that is so like easily widespread, and that's okay. Like, there's so many examples of artists that progressed to making mainstream music
I
and always
I
kept it
feel
dope.
Honor is a step in that direction with kind of the rhythm of it. But I'm actually looking forward to hearing Maze on a track with the right kind of singing that
Yeah,
matches what you're about and the beat that will come with that. I'm looking forward to hearing that because I don't
absolutely,
think I've heard singing yet on the albums I've peeped. So
bro.
yeah.
Wait till you hear my singing shit. I be coming out with some crazy
All
ass.
right.
Yeah, bro. I
That's
ain't got
crazy, man.
no goddamn singer, but I got some shit. I got some shit, bro. I got some
All
shit. You
right.
feel me?
All right, bro. So yeah, man. Thanks again. This is the end. I appreciate you, and we'll stay connected, man.
Always, man. Let
Absolutely.
me know. Let's tap in and again another 6 months. We'll see where we at, right?
Dope, bro.
All
Have
right, man.
have a good night. Peace,
Bless.
everyone.
Peace.